Ever wondered what it's like to tame a wolf to herd sheep? A blogger decided to raise a wolf pup and integrate it into a sheep herding team. From the video, it's clear that the sheepdogs have remarkably accepted this newcomer. As the blogger puts it, the biggest challenge in raising a puppy is getting the adult dogs to accept it. Imagine the challenge when it's a wolf. Traditionally, sheepdogs and wolves are natural adversaries, so why would they accept this wolf? Before the video update, the shepherd had found the wolf pup when it was just a week old and had already exposed it to dogs, imprinting the scent of a dog owner on the pup. This helped the sheepdogs naturally accept its presence. However, as the wolf pup grows, its wild instincts are beginning to resurface. What's next? Will the wolf pup attack the sheep? Will the sheepdogs turn on it? We'll have to wait and see. If you're intrigued by this wolf pup among the sheepdogs, hit like and leave a comment. If the video gets enough views, I'll continue to follow this story. This episode is just a test for now, but since I've decided to edit this video, let's boldly predict, will the grown wolf live peacefully with the sheepdogs without ever harming the sheep? Ever wondered what it's like to tame a wolf to herd sheep? The blogger's experiment seems to be headed for failure. From the footage provided by the blogger, the little guy is driven by instinct, attempting to hunt, although he's at his limit and doesn't understand how to obtain food. He just wants to play with a lamb, yet this behavior is undeniably that of a hunting wolf. Fortunately, since the wolf pup is still small, his teeth can't harm the lamb, and the sheepdogs won't hurt him, partly because of the blogger's indulgence. They keep the protective sheepdogs at bay. After a whole day of playing, the little guy is excited but tired and chooses to rest outside the tent. Just like most dogs, he stays close to his human for security. If it weren't for the wolf's inability to keep a low profile, the blogger might even think he's scheming to secure a long-term meal ticket. From the start, he has won over both the sheepdogs and humans, acting more like an obedient dog than a wild wolf. The blogger keeps a constant eye on him. Will he still sleep with one eye open like a wolf? From the captured footage, his instincts are unmistakably those of a wolf. The young pup might not yet realize how different he is from the sheepdogs, thinking he's just another dog. But as he grows, his wild nature will likely re-emerge, possibly detecting his differences from the dogs and even returning to the wild without the humans noticing. Meanwhile, the blogger will continue trying to integrate him into human life, adapting him to the role of a good sheepdog. Let's return to our favorite cunning little wolf pup, now on his 4th day with the sheep herding team. It seems he hasn't grown much, possibly due to the director's influence, but as of now, he doesn't seem to realize he's different from the sheepdogs and hasn't harmed any animal around him. Instead, he's been doing his best to please all his new family members. Like all young animals, this little guy is full of energy, not harboring any ill intentions, and is extremely curious about everything. He even accepts the humbling reality of being thrashed by a cat. Speaking of which, shouldn't the cat bear some responsibility? What if his wolf peers saw this? It could make integrating with a wolf pack later on more difficult. The vlogger has been trying to integrate him into human life, misleading him into becoming a good sheepdog. Surprisingly, the sheep haven't rejected him, likely because they don't realize he's a wolf. Even more bizarre is how the sheepdogs, natural enemies of wolves, have gotten used to him and even accept playing with him, teaching him some hunting skills. His friendly overtures have earned him acceptance from most of the livestock, even though his actions still resemble wolf hunting behaviors, like playfully engaging with the prey after a mock hunt, giving him a sense of security before attacking again. His wild instincts are gradually returning, but because he's still small, he hasn't really harmed any animals. Despite occasionally displaying his innate wolf traits, he spends most of his time acting like a harmless dog, sometimes even more affable than a typical dog. He tirelessly seeks approval from all the animals around him. Without any historical footage of wolves being domesticated, we can't be sure if his behavior is normal or if he's cunningly biding his time, ready to bolt. As he continues interacting with dogs and sheep, will he become a qualified sheepdog, or will his natural instincts awaken as he matures, leading him to harm his friends and return to his wolf pack? We'll have to wait and see. I'll keep you updated. In the first 3 episodes, the wolf pup among the sheepdogs sparked a lot of discussion online. Some people challenged my views, believing that these cute wolf pups could be domesticated just like dogs were, not realizing that turning wolves into dogs took humans roughly 15,000 years. I found material from a familiar blogger, a shepherd who lives in the mountains with his father. In one of my previous videos, his father encountered a wolf attack while returning from the mountain. For those interested, you can check out my earlier videos. There have been no recent updates because wolves tend to avoid villages in the summer. Last fall, the blogger found a young wolf on the mountain. Without a pack for protection, it was vulnerable to attacks from foxes and eagles, so he decided to bring it home and attempt to domesticate it. This young wolf looked harmless, just like the one in the previous videos, showing no fear of humans. What surprised me in this video was the tolerance of the Kangal dogs, which, like the dog in the video 2 days ago, completely ignored the fact that it was a wolf and were willing to play with it. This might be because the wolf pup smelled like its human owner, leading the sheepdogs to accept it unconditionally. The blogger thought he was close to successfully domesticating the wolf. However, as the wolf grew, its wild nature gradually returned. It began distancing itself from the blogger and others, although it still ate in front of the blogger and tolerated the sheepdogs. This tension escalated, and as the wolf continued to grow, the blogger could no longer even touch it. The wolf's instincts were awakening, making it realize it did not belong there. It started to avoid humans and even attack the blogger. Despite this, the blogger wasn't ready to give up on domesticating him. He felt maybe the wolf was just uncomfortable being confined. What happened next that made the blogger give up on domesticating the wolf and integrating it into the sheepdog team? Fast forward to a final test outside the kennel 2 weeks later, which would decide its fate. The wolf was completely intolerant of human presence and kept trying to escape. The test involved a lamb to see if the wolf would attack it. The blogger promised to be very careful and stop the test immediately if the wolf attacked. But as he was speaking, the wolf suddenly attacked the lamb. Even though it wasn't fully grown, the incident was a stark reminder that domesticating a wolf is not the work of one generation, nor of one wolf. The wolf was likely released into the wild or sent to a sanctuary, but we can't be sure. Remember, it's illegal to keep wild animals as pets in our country, so please don't try this at home. Today's video takes us back to the little guy who has captured everyone's hearts. It's his 30th day joining the sheep herding crew. So far, the little guy is in great spirits and proving to be quite clever. He even knows to take shelter under the vlogger during rain showers. However, it seems his courage has dwindled. Even a distant thunderclap sends him scurrying for cover. Hardly the behavior you'd expect from a wolf. Over the past month, the flock has come to accept him, showing no unease when he draws near. According to the vlogger's plan, if all goes well, this will be the first year of many that the little guy spends with them, migrating across the plains. It will be a demanding year, with his energy likely diminishing over the days of continuous movement. Nevertheless, the team will do everything to acclimate him to life as a sheepdog, even if it means he evolves from a wild wolf into a domesticated herding dog. Will it be successful? As we've speculated before, and as many international viewers have commented, it might just be because he's still young. The vlogger understands the skepticism. After all, the pup has been raised on lamb and will continue to need it. But so far, he hasn't harmed any animal, and the team is determined to train him with great care. The vlogger is confident about the benefits of turning a wolf into a sheepdog. Unlike bulkier dogs, a wolf moves effortlessly in snowy conditions and can reach speeds that sheepdogs can't match. In recent days, as the vlogger and his crew continue their nomadic journey, the interactions between the sheepdogs and the little guy have been surprisingly harmonious. It's crucial for his potential as a future excellent sheepdog. In fact, during an altercation between the team's dogs and others from a different group, the little guy's performance was astonishing. He even tried to join the fray to support his companions. As it's now past 10 p.m., the team is getting ready to rest. Before sleeping, they'll feed the sheepdogs. As for the little guy, the vlogger notes that feeding him too much lamb makes him anxious and restless. Interestingly, the pup isn't much for the bony pieces. Unlike typical dogs, he prefers his meat boneless. And just a reminder as the video ends, it's illegal to keep wild animals as pets in many places, so please don't try this at home. And to our little wolf pup, how about we bring out a bit more of that wild nature and less of the cozy bedding? The video shifts back to our little wolf pup, a favorite for warming hearts and laps alike. Today is his 40th day with the sheep herding team. He has grown significantly in the past 10 days, yet his clinginess has only intensified rather than decreased. He doesn't display the typical behavior expected of a wolf. After more than 40 days of nomadic life, the pup's spirits are still high. Under the blogger's tutelage, he has gradually adapted to the life of a sheepdog and is starting to develop a sense of teamwork. However, he remains the most timid among them, perhaps due to the unfamiliar sheepdogs sparking some fear in him. Today, the bloggers group arrived in an unfamiliar village where, as explained by a local shepherd, a wolf attack recently occurred, resulting in about 10 sheep being killed. The blogger launched a drone and observed some of the sheep that had fallen victim to wolves. This presence of wolves sets the stage for eagerly anticipating the pup's reaction. Will he revert to his wild ways, or will he stand with the sheepdogs in defense against the wolves? This is his first close encounter with his kind since joining the sheepdogs. The blogger also shared insights from the past month, highlighting the importance of controlling the food source. By feeding the pup by hand, much like one would a domestic dog, he teaches him to rely on humans for food instead of hunting. This shift is a crucial step towards success. As night approaches, the pup's genetic instincts begin to stir, making him more active. His howling might attract other wolves, but the blogger has a strong team of well-trained sheepdogs. An easy attack on their flock is unlikely. The pup's instincts make him both protective of his food and somewhat aggressive. He tries to play with the sheep, which is risky, but so far he hasn't harmed any. We must remind everyone that it's illegal to keep wild animals as pets domestically, so please do not emulate this behavior. As the night deepens, the pup becomes alert to a sound. The blogger, analyzing the situation, suspects that the wolves that had previously attacked the village might have returned. This raises his alertness and anticipation for the fruits of his 40-plus days of taming. The pup has exceptionally sharp hearing, picking up sounds that the sheepdogs miss. When he hears these noises, his vision sharpens, and he tries to locate the source. Convinced that the wolves have returned, the blogger commands the sheepdogs to chase them off. The young wolf's tentative steps are enough to disrupt the wolves' plans, yet he remains the most timid of the group, stopping after just a few steps. The blogger plans to boost his confidence and courage in upcoming training sessions. Will it work? We'll have to wait for future updates to find out. What's it like to train a wolf to be a sheepdog? In this video, we're on day 59 of the vlogger's journey to tame a wild wolf pup. In the earlier videos, the little guy was doing really well and becoming more attached, although he remained as timid as ever. If you're interested, you can check out the previous videos for more context. As the pup grows, the vlogger knew it was time to start teaching him some attack skills. These skills will help him cooperate with the sheepdogs to ward off any approaching wild wolves during future herding. This is the vlogger's first attempt at something like this, so success isn't guaranteed, but it's incredibly important. The goal is to strengthen the bond between the pup and humans as he matures, helping to keep his wild instincts in check. If this works, they'll have a new member of the team to help the sheepdogs protect the flock and even safeguard the owner. Based on the footage, it's clear that the bond between the vlogger and the wolf pup has deepened over the past few days. The pup has already learned to protect his owner from strangers. To ensure the training was on the right track, the vlogger invited a distant cousin, someone the pup had never met before, to act as a test opponent. The pup's response was reassuring. While not aggressive, he was defensive enough to show that after nearly 60 days together, he recognizes the vlogger as his leader. However, this kind of training is dangerous, and since keeping wild animals is illegal in many places, it's definitely not something to try at home. As the pup grows, his wolf-like features are becoming more pronounced. Interestingly, the sheepdogs have accepted him more easily than expected. So far, there's been no aggression from the dogs, and at times the pup even tries to challenge the lead sheepdog's position, perhaps not realizing he's different. He's more energetic than the other sheepdogs the vlogger has raised, but he's gradually learning to channel that energy by working alongside them. The domestication process is still a long journey. The pup remains vigilant and protective over his food, showing that his wild nature hasn't been completely tamed. Training a wolf is definitely more challenging than raising a sheepdog. So, what are the benefits of turning a wolf into a sheepdog? The vlogger explains that the pup can hear distant sounds that humans can't, alerting them to dangers like nearby wolves or other animals that might otherwise go unnoticed. So how's his relationship with the flock? Well, so far he hasn't attacked a single sheep. In fact, despite being a natural predator, the sheep seem to have formed an unexpectedly friendly relationship with him, almost as if they don't realize he's a wolf. How do wolves ambush sheep? Take a look at these two wolves hiding on the hillside, using the terrain to their advantage to sneak up on grazing sheep. Today's video revisits the shepherd who is training wild wolf pups to become sheepdogs. This is day 70 of their training, and the little guy has grown stronger and bolder, though he still hasn't kicked the habit of sneaking into warm beds. The pup's progress has been promising. As he grows, his teamwork skills are improving, and he's even learned how to help his packmates pull porcupine quills from their fur, showing a remarkable instinct. When facing a common enemy, the wolf pup works alongside the sheepdogs, though he's still the most cautious of the group. This wariness might just be part of his nature as a wolf, but his transformation is surprising. After all, it took humans thousands of years to domesticate wolves into dogs, while this shepherd has made significant progress in just 70 days. Today's main focus, though, is the two wolves spotted near the flock in broad daylight. The shepherd discovered them using a drone. These are Arabian wolves, smaller in size, one male and one female. They sniffed the air for the scent of the sheep, but initially struggled to pinpoint their location, about a mile away, marked by a blue tarp covering a haystack. The drone hovered over the wolves, even swooping down close, but they remained unfazed. Very different from the Turkish and Iranian wolves that typically shy away.